Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel, and thanks for logging on. Today we are discussing a gorgeous Rolex Oyster Perpetual Chronograph Daytona, reference 116519. This is a watch that hits on all cylinders, beautiful, uncommon, and stemming from one of the iconic model lines of all time. This is a watch from a great brand and a great model within a great brand, rendered in an unusual combination of features. You can see and you can purchase this uncommon 6-digit reference white gold Rolex Daytona on our website. Subscribe to our YouTube channel if you enjoy these videos, and please click on the card in the upper right hand corner of the screen at any time during this video to see our full sales listing for this watch with additional accessories included in the sale, high resolution images for your desktop, and naturally complete pricing details for this white gold in-house caliber Rolex Daytona. Now, there is a little bit of a clone culture among Rolex collectors. Everyone who has the black and blue GMT has the same black and blue GMT. Everyone who has the Hulk has the same Hulk. So when you find a Rolex model from a great model line, not one of the peripherals, not some forgotten family, but one of the true pillars of Rolex, Chronograph Daytona, and you find an iteration of it that is almost never seen, it's truly a special occasion. This watch is both beautiful and rare, and both factors endear it to me. It's perhaps the Rolex for the counterculture collector who doesn't really like Rolex. You'll like this one. 40 millimeters across the round of the case, not including chronograph pushers, crown, or crown guards. The watch is delightfully slim, 12.2 millimeters thick. You can see with a sloped conical style, almost flat plain bezel, and a lip to its rounded off sapphire. This is an easy watch to slip underneath a dress cuff. Not just the jacket, but the sleeve beneath. Lug to lug in an era when almost every Rolex sports watch is on a bracelet with solid end links. This one's on a strap, so it measures true to its lug to lug dimension of 47.7 millimeters, and should you wish to accessorize, this is a watch that you're going to strap with a 20 millimeter rubber B Everest or Rolex OEM alternative. Now, it is a substantial timepiece. You do feel the heft of it. Rolex cases are more of a cushion than a round profile, so they already have a little bit more metal than you'd normally have in a conventionally sized watch of the same diameter. But then there's the solid case back, and in the case, pun intended, of a timepiece made of gold, platinum, or any other precious substance, I would rather have the solid case back made of that same precious substance than a 20 to 30 Swiss franc sapphire. The 4130 was one of the first good-looking Rolex calibers when it debuted back in 2000, but I will still take that extra ounce and a half of white gold to add the heft on my wrist. A few thoughtful design elements here. Rolex doesn't want to create an unfinished looking watch, so there are end link profiles built in to the junction of case and strap. You can see these end links that ease the transition from strap to case, avoiding that awkward gap between strap and case. So it's a clean, integrated look, almost as though the watch were on a bracelet, but you get that unconstrained movement of a strap pulling straight down from the lugs. It's a handsome strap, small rectangular scale alligator leather with some bolstering down the center and a contrasting stitch. It is a slightly off-white stitch, and you can see that the edges are folded, the underside is calf, and the clasp is a little bit of a vintage number, as it is distinctly different from almost any other contemporary Rolex clasp construction, almost a throwback to a bygone era, but entirely in white gold and nicely finished. It has a secure clamshell closure, and it's handsomely made, satin and polished, low in profile, and easy to use. You can see there are also a number of perforations so that you can size more precisely. The timepiece features a handsome case that still retains some of the sex appeal of a previous era of Rolex, in the era before the super case. These compound curves, rounded size, tapered flanks, less squared off and more graceful arcing lugs were the rule. And you can see that the watch really sticks to the pattern first established in 1988 by the original automatic Rolex Daytona, the first Zenith-powered reference 16520. Well, this watch continues in that tradition, so you have the inherent elegance. You also have a number of upgrades. Let's talk first about the external and then talk about internal upgrades. You can see that the bezel is in outstanding condition. Now, there's the top of the bezel with the classic precious metal Rolex triangular indices for the white gold bezel. You'll also note that all of the lacquer fills, and these are lacquer lacquer-filled wells on the metal bezels are perfectly intact. No evidence of refinishing, scratching, or scuffs. It may be difficult, and I'm going to try to get as close as I can to show this to advantage, but there is actually a squared-off lip to the edge of these bezels that is the first thing to go in the case of refinishing or indecent use, exposure to rough and tumble. And you can see that sharp squared off lip in high polish is completely intact all the way around. This watch is as good as it would have emerged from the dealer's case. Now, rolling back out for a moment. So one of my other review watches poking in, that's Yachtmaster 2 in the upper left. You can see that the watch is incredibly handsome, as this dial features a gorgeous slate gray sunburst with all applied white gold numerals, indices, Rolex crown, and matching white gold hands at center. So you get a lot of gold with this watch. It's also a fully luminescent dial, so there will be a spectacular lume shot at the end of this video. A handsome tritone of the white metal, the silver print, the dark, almost dark rhodium base, and the red contrast of the registers, as well as the Daytona scripted 6. So you've got the gray, you've got the silver, and you've got the red. You also have the dynamism of the sunburst, and you can see as I move the watch through the light how that sunburst really catches even the soft diffuse light of my light box. You'll also note the polished chapter rings to each of the registers. This is a very handsome, dynamic, reactive, and if I haven't mentioned it enough already, distinctive Rolex dial. This is not the one that everyone in the office has. Now inside the case, the same tough Rolex 44 jewel automatic winding 4130 in service with many revisions and upgrades since 2000. It now features a free sprung balance with a full balance bridge architecture, as it always has, but the overcoil hairspring, which ensures concentric beating and good timekeeping in every position, is now the parachrom blue alloy for robust anti-magnetism. Now, every version of the Rolex Daytona since the original in 2000 had the parachrom alloy. It only became blue in the second half of 2007, so this being a more recent scrambled serial number watch, it does have the blue parachrom spring. Automatic winding, smooth bidirectional action with soft Teflon coated violet covered reversing wheels. The violet reversing wheels that are distinctive of the movement when you see one of these open ensure that it's almost a silent and seamless winding. It's not like the unidirectional wobble of a 7750 or a JLC 975 or 976 movement. It's also tough. So you've got the free sprung balance, the full balance bridge, the 100-meter water resistance thanks to screw-down crowns and pushers, and crisp operation thanks to a column wheel architecture. So a column wheel function selector and a vertical clutch. The column wheel ensures that you can hear and feel the actuation of the chronograph mechanism. It's crisp. And then the vertical clutch ensuring that there's no jump or stagger to the seconds hand when you start it, because there's no play in a vertical clutch system. Moreover, the vertical clutch lets you just keep the chronograph running. Should you prefer to have constant center seconds along with minutes and hours, you can just leave the chronograph running and ignore the sub-registers. With a vertical clutch, there is no additional wear, tear, or hazard to your movement. A lot going on with this watch, beating away at 28,800 vibrations per hour, and though it does not have a date, so there is no quick set, if you pull the crown out, there is a hacking seconds function, so you can set the watch precisely to the second against a known accurate reference time. You can see and you can purchase this unique white gold Rolex Oyster Perpetual Cosmograph Daytona on our website. And we're back with the Rolex 116519 in white gold. As you can see, beautiful blue Rolex Chromolite on a gorgeous gray sunburst dial in a white gold case. A watch distinctive by night and day. You can see it by the light of day with full accessories on our website.